for the athletes. They line up from the inside. Clement of Scotland, Bailly, Tanzania, Craig of Canada, Waigwar of Kenya, Glenn Grant of Wales, Moorcroft, then Kosgei, then Big Rod Dixon, Chuai, Hutchings of England, McGuinness of Northern Ireland, and John Robson of Scotland. 3 3/4 laps of the track. And straight away, the pace being set by Filbert Bailly, tracked by one of the Kenyans, Paul Craig of Canada next, and Robson of Scotland just behind. Rob Dixon back in 5th place, and the 2 Englishmen are just 2 places from the back. Filbert Bailly putting a statement of intent out immediately. Kosgei in 2nd place, number 260, looking round. And right at the back at the moment, as usual, Waigwar of Kenya, who starts slow and finishes fast. Coming round with 3 laps to go, Bailly leads, Kosgei 2nd, Craig is 3rd. In 4th place is Chuai, 5th is Robson, 6th is Dixon, 7th McGuinness, 8th Clement, 9th is Moorcroft, and in 10th place Hutchins, with Glenn Grant 11th, and Waigwar, one of the favourites, unbelievably lets them get away like this, prefers to do his running late. But what a gamble to take against Bailly, who's gone through now in 57.67 seconds at 400 metres. Much slower than when he set the world record, but he kicks hard down the back straight, and there's now 20 metres between the leader, Bailly, and the 2nd favourite, Waigwar, right at the back. The 2 Kenyans chasing, Chuai and Kosgei. Then John Robson, this promising Scot who's developed throughout the season, in 4th place. Dave Moorcroft moving up to challenge slowly, almost imperceptibly, back in 5th place, but in the right place. Clement moving up too. Moorcroft doesn't get trapped on that curb though at this stage. Clement moving through on the outside with Moorcroft, and Moorcroft realises there he's got a problem. A gap beginning to develop, but it gives him space to come out. 2 laps to go. Bailly leads. In 2nd place, Chuai. 3rd is Robson moving up inside Kosgei, and still Waigwar at the back has made no move. Tailed off Tim Hutchings of England as they come round now to complete 2 laps and 800 metres. The time then, 1:55, as opposed to his 1:52 when he set the world record. Bailly still in front. In 2nd place, cruising, is Chuai of Kenya. Then Robson of Scotland, Moorcroft of England, Clement of Scotland in 5th place. Going up on the inside in 6th is Glenn Grant of Wales. 7th is Rod Dixon. And still no move from Waigwar from the back. Just tracking Paul Craig, and he's leaving himself so much to do. Well, you've got to be a lot better than the rest if you can win from that position. But gradually he's coming through on the outside. Waigwar 283. There he is, running wide. And this time, the sound of the bell. Just over 400 metres to go. The champion and world record holder in front. Robson of Scotland, the perfect race, giving himself every chance 2nd. Moorcroft of England is 3rd. Grant of Wales 4th. And Clement of Scotland 5. At the moment, 4 UK athletes in the first 5. And still Waigwar is sitting back in 6th place and gradually closing. Bailly of Tanzania leads, Robson of Scotland 2nd, Moorcroft of England 3rd, Grant of Wales next, Clement is next, and here comes Waigwar with that supercharged late run. 200 metres for the leader. The record holder leads and champion, Bailly of Tanzania. Robson digging it in 2nd place where he's been all the time. Moorcroft 3rd, and they're stretching away. Waigwar has no hope of catching them. 4th is Clement, 5th is Grant, but these should be the 3 medalists. Moorcroft on the outside for England. Robson for Scotland, Bailly Tanzania, and it's Dave Moorcroft on the near side. Moorcroft for England. Will he get the gold medal? Yes is the answer. Bailly 2nd, Robson 3rd, Clement 4th. And within the space of 15 minutes, England have taken both the gold medals in the 1,500-metre races. A perfect waiting race by Dave Moorcroft of Coventry Godiva. Talked to him the other night. He said he was going well. He's timed his preparation perfectly, and he just took Bailly when Bailly was beginning to suffer. The 3 medalists were getting away here. An appallingly bad race by Waigwar, the 2nd favourite. Bailly ran his usual race from the front. If you can stay with him, he's vulnerable. And the question is whether Robson was caught on the line or not. It's very, very close. Now, there's Bailly on the inside. Moorcroft with a clear run, driving for home. The hard work he's put in the past 2 years when he's been living in New Zealand, paying off. And this is the strength of a man who has also finished 2nd in the National Cross Country Championship. The tape's in sight. The gold medal belongs to Dave Moorcroft.
up from the inside again. Reitz
On your mark.
England, Walker, New Zealand, Scammell, Australia, Boyd, Kenya, Cram, England, Rogers, New Zealand, Williamson, Scotland, Wayward, Kenya, Hill-Hart, Australia, and Gilchrist of New Zealand. 3 3/4 laps of the track. And straight away, Wayward drops into the back position where we see him so often. Cram right in the middle of that bunch. Williamson, they've closed up slightly. Williamson in the blue vest of Scotland. It's Mike Boyd of Kenya leading. Hill-Hart of Australia on the outside. John Walker on the curve. Cram there, and they're slowing. And this is dangerous because this is when athletes fall.
This is quite one of the most competitive races in the Commonwealth Games, and I think Steve Cram is obviously the favourite, but he's got some real opposition with John Walker, the Olympic champion, with Graham Williamson, who's coming right into form, and the local boy who's got tremendous support, Mike Hillard. I don't think this will be a rush for glory by Steve like he did in Athens. I'm pretty confident that he's going to save himself in however the pace goes, and make a run for home somewhere on the last lap between 300 metres and 200 metres to go.
They've just gone through 400 metres in 60.5. Boyd, who won the 800-metre championship 4 years ago for Kenya, is in front. Now 33. Steve Cram only 21 in second place. Hill-Hart, this great hope for Australia, is third. John Walker, New Zealand, 4. Williamson of Scotland, 5. Gilchrist of New Zealand, 6. In 7th place is Scammell. 8th is Rogers. 9 is Reitz. And 10 is Wayward. Boyd and Cram have met so often, and so too Walker on European tracks during the season. They know each other so well. Hill-Hart, the unknown quantity, and it's going to be left to the fast finishers. And don't forget, of course, Cram, one of the fastest men over 800 metres in the world this year, just over 1:44. But it's going to be a tactical battle, no doubt about that.
Actually, when it's as slow as this and the athletes punch like they are doing now, you often get accidents occurring. I just hope that both Graham Williamson, Steve Cram and Colin Reitz can stay free of that trouble, because you can get an athlete tripping like they did in Athens, and then someone may be in the right position at the right time to move off. But it's not particularly fast. It's definitely going to be won on the last lap.
Well, Graham Williamson, of course, must go for a long finish. We know that, and the time at 800 metres was 2 minutes 5.6 seconds. Boyd still leading. Steve Cram in second place. Hill-Hart right there third. Scammell, Pat Scammell of Australia, 4th. John Walker, 5. Gilchrist, 6. Williamson and Reitz together, 7 and 8. Rogers, 9. Wayward, 10. And the bunch grouping as they come round this time for the bell. And still no decisive strike made. Williamson can't get out of trouble. He's absolutely boxed. We expected him to make a move. Steve Cram mustn't get boxed at this stage by the rush on the outside. Boyd still leading. Cram of England second. Then the 2 Australians, followed by 3 New Zealanders, and Cram looks back there to see what's going on as Boyd strikes for home. So Boyd leading, Cram in second place, Hill-Hart third, and John Walker, New Zealand, 4, and Williamson got caught by Gilchrist and he goes up 5th. Boyd having a tremendous battle in front, but it's Cram and Hill-Hart and Walker. Boyd still leading as they hit 200. Cram in second place. Walker third, Hill-Hart 4th. What can Cram do? He's off the curve. He's in the attacking position. Walker trying to go through on the inside. There's no room there. That was ridiculous. Steve Cram on the outside, battling with Boyd, and it's Cram away and clear. Cram coming home to take the gold we all hope for England. Walker in second place, Boyd is third, Williamson 4, Hill-Hart 5, Reitz 6, Gilchrist 7, Rogers 8, Wayward 9, and Scammell 10. 51.2 for the last lap for Steve Cram. Beautifully judged, but what an incredible error John Walker made. So experienced on that last bend.
21, Peter Bourke, the 800 metres champion of 4 years ago, was stepping up in distance, and he was second in the Australian Championship. So a goal on the line. Gladwin lines up on the inside next to Steve Cram, the champion. Then Dave Campbell, the Canadian champion. Peter Bourke, the former 800 metres Commonwealth Games champion from Australia. Neen Horsfield, only 19 from Wales, developing talent. Steve Martin, who's done his job already by getting through to the final for Northern Ireland. Mike Hillard, the Australian champion and record holder. Pat Scammell of Australia. Rob Harrison of England. the UK champion. And John Robson, the Scottish record holder, right on the outside. The 10 go on their way. Gladwin quickly into his running, and Cram, as usual, drops out of the back to keep out of trouble and almost ran into Campbell's spikes. No one really wants to make the pace.
Well, when Steve Cram arrived at the stadium, he saw how strong the wind was blowing. He said to me then that he felt as though it would be a race like Brisbane, where nobody was prepared to take the pace on. And this is almost playing into his hands, and really it would be very difficult to do anything about the pace in these conditions. But you feel as though there are some people in the race who won't do anything unless they have a sustained pace. And I know it's windy, but we saw last week in the 10,000 metres that, okay, the overall time is slower if you take it on in the wind. But if you don't, you're just playing in the hands of the big kickers, and they're not all big kickers in this race.
The crowd clearly don't like what they're seeing. There was a slow hand clap then. But of course, these boys are racing for a championship. There's no question of pace-making here. This is not an invitation meeting. They're running for a title. And it's all about racing and tactics. Ilhart of Australia leading, reluctantly. Rob Harrison in second place, Gladwin third, Horsfield 4, Burke 5, Scammell 6. John Robson 7, Steve Martin 8, Cram 9, Campbell 10. 68 seconds for the first lap. Wind very strong. They're into it now in the back straight. It's just starting to rain quite heavily. Australia leading, England second, Wales third, England 4. Pat Scammell of Australia 5, Steve Martin in the green of Ireland in 6th place. Cram still waiting, and the race is made for Cram really, because he's the 800-metre title holder. He's the fastest man in the field. He's right at the back at the moment. If someone really made a break now, it could be quite interesting, because there's no way out without a struggle for Steve Cram. 2 laps to go.
You can just see them gathering up, and I mean, someone's going to have to release a run soon, because they're playing very much into Steve Cram's hands. I think they've all given up the gold medal, but I think it's all about who's going to get the silver and bronze, and I think there's chances, if Rob Harrison stays well in that position and John Gladwin right behind him, it could be Crammy's prediction of England 1, 2 and 3.
Almost 2 minutes, 16 seconds at the halfway. Ilhart Australia leading, and the rain pouring down. Cram's now beginning his move. He's getting clear of trouble, but inevitable bunching with the slow pace, and the race has begun. Steve Martin now, the Haringey athlete who runs for Northern Ireland, alongside Ilhart, the Australian record holder and champion. John Gladwin of England moves up, clear of trouble at Martin's shoulder, the right place to be. Also getting out of trouble is Rob Harrison. Cram still waits at the back, still keeping clear of everyone, and comes very wide down the finishing straight, and John Gladwin has gone. Now, has he caught Cram? He's got an awful lot to do now. He's about 12 metres clear, Gladwin, of Cram, at least 12, perhaps 15. And Cram was caught asleep. Gladwin with just over 300 to go, and Cram now has got to work very, very hard indeed. But look at him go. The challenge is there, but he's having to work desperately hard to catch the other Englishman. But John Gladwin finding that wind so punishing, you can see him almost leaning back. His stride shortening, and the champion is back in the race, and surely going to win the title once more. Steve Cram comes right from the back, but Gladwin hanging on in second place. England 1 and 2, and Campbell of Canada in third place at the moment. And Steve Cram high steps his way to yet another gold medal and successfully defends the Commonwealth title. John Gladwin takes the silver. Campbell the surprise bronze. Rob Harrison 4th. 5th place Scammell. 5th place rather Burke. 6th was Scammell, who gets